Yeah, yeah. Yes, y'all.
Good
Old school.
morning. Good morning. Good
Oh,
morning.
man. Good morning, y'all. Yeah, this is the wake up. It's the wake up crew right here. Yeah, it's all good. So, yo, man, we here.
Yo,
Heyward CPA Live, the podcast for you and yours, and whatever we got on our mind at a given time.
oh, you
That's
just you just said that with a rhyme.
yeah, of course. So that's what I'm saying. I'm rhythmic element supreme right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just happy to be here. For all the people out there, good morning. For some people on the West Coast, it might be really, really morning. What's it like 8 o'clock on the West Coast? In
Yeah.
Hawaii, like 6 o'clock. In London, it's 5 p.m. Just saying, man.
Yeah, okay, so what is it? I think it's I'll tell you in a minute.
Doing serious things right now.
Yeah, man. Watch this. It's I just want to make sure I say the right place. Let's see. Is this right? Yeah. In Ethiopia, you know what time it is right now?
Um, I'm a guess. Hold up. It's not all right. It's not. It must be about 8 o'clock.
Close. 7 years behind.
Seven. Yo, what you talking about, man? 7 years, bro. Yo, see, this is too much, man. What are you talking? It's 7 years behind.
Yeah,
What
they
they on?
they follow a 13-month calendar.
Oh man, yeah. See, yeah, they something up. They on something else. I
Seven
mean,
years behind us.
yeah. Well,
At
you
least that's
know,
what that's what's out in the world.
yeah, that's what they saying, right? So,
Hmm.
I mean, it's all good though. But I have, I got a lot. I got a lot.
You got a
A
lot to
lot.
say.
Oh man,
You
do
got
I
so much
ever?
to say.
Yeah, I got some stuff to say, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I called this one. I mean, you didn't see it because I just put it. I just put it in there. I called this. I named this episode, believe it or not, the final sprint, and because we at the sprint. This is it. We got 9 days. I don't think. Yeah, the next time we on, the tax season will be over, even though our tax season never ends, and I want
Right,
to make that really clear
right,
that our tax season never ends. That keep that in mind
right.
what I'm saying there. And so, um, I first want to spend this time, the first few moments of this, which this video might be useful for our communications department. Um, I want to. Where our reactions? First of all, I want to clap to all the members of the Heyward CPA crew. You know, I'm giving double applause for that because this week, and we really should chart this, but this week we got our, you know, our drama. Like once a year, there's one supposed to be client or something that causes a drama every year. Now, that's a byproduct of the fact that we we extend that, we expose ourselves because of the way we market and the way that we bring people in. So we're highly exposed to people that we don't necessarily know. You know, we don't do a lot. We don't get a lot of referrals. Not because we don't get referrals, is that our marketing apparatus is we use the internet. We draw people from the internet and we get people in, and you know, so on and so forth. So once a year we seem to get some clown that, you know, we weren't attentive to enough. It's something like that. So, and this clown, it eventually devolves and they say something and whatever. But then what do? They do the number one thing that all clowns nowadays do. They go to social media, which I consider reviews being social media. But before I get to that foolishness, what I want to do is applaud you, Nicole, Latasha, Tanya, and Stephanie. Kind of sound like New Edition, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, you know, but like that. For the way that we are progressing and dealing with the clowns. And I think it's a testament to you guys. Because notice how I have nothing to do, because me, I'm like, you know, I'm Armageddon. I'm like, I'm just like, boom, push the button. I'm just like that. But I want to take this time to celebrate us, because number one clown, well, one monkey don't steal the show. And number two, I think that every year we've been growing in how to deal with these situations. And so I would, you know, I'm going to raise up the toast. So it's because, you know what I'm saying? It shows real strength. And I really appreciate that, because I didn't have to bring Petty P out. It's so wonderful. It's so great. And the further show that, you know, I think it comes from this. I put a tweet out yesterday. I don't know, it might be scary here, but I put a tweet out yesterday that I want to share to the people. Hopefully we can see this. And where did it go? And here we go, right here. Hopefully this is coming through. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know if it's coming through or not. But right here. I want to read this tweet in case you can't see it. And I put this out here and I said, every year we get one, in quotes, client that gets in their feelings about response time and leaves a negative review on Google to, quote unquote, hurt us. Our policy is to not negotiate with terrorists. I thought about it, internet terrorists. So the threat of negative review doesn't scare us. And then I added a comment behind that, because we have a communication process that timestamps all client interaction, and our metrics show that we beat our stated response time by hours. Unfortunately, there is always one hater in the crowd. So that's the tweet, the official tweet that went out on the Heyward CPA Twitter yesterday. Let it know. Didn't get a lot of responses. Even fellow practitioners may not even think like that. But I'm going to tell you something. Negative reviews don't scare me, because it's usually people that should have never been your client that give negative reviews, number one. Number two, I mean, they're entitled to their opinion, but their opinion does not dictate who we are or what we do. So, and they always use, look, I didn't even read what this clown says, is whatever, but it's always like Armageddon, like, oh, they're the worst, there's something like that there. And you know what? These are always people who change their tax preparer every year. So there's always going to be something wrong for them. And so I just, you know, wanted to stay up there. You know, I did this this could have been real hood, but I did this real straight just to say, look, for people out here, we're a community. We're a community. People that work with us, they understand. They know how to get in touch with us. We have so many ways for us to get in touch with us. But once again, I go back to data. We have metrics that show. We respond to people. Initial response. That's the key. And also, just because you send a message like every hour on the hour, that doesn't mean we're going to respond to you faster. In fact, it's going to slow down the response time because we have quite a few clients and we care about all our clients. So just because you say, "Ooh, me, 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 me," oh yeah, by the way, me, 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 doesn't mean that we're going to shut down some other client just for you. So I want to make that very clear. And that may be a turnoff for people. People say, "Oh, well, I don't know if I want to be done." Oh, and I believe certain also I want to address this thing too. Because apparently, once again, I didn't read it, but this is just the feeding I got from the team. That you try to disparage one of our team people? Like, really? Really? Say somebody was, out of their character. Somebody that, quite frankly, probably cares about you more than me. Like, it makes no sense. So people have to understand. I know this is counter, but you know what came to me this morning in my pre-game thought is that what we doing. I mean, there are rules, and then at some point you have to start establishing your own rules. And yeah, the proper way to play it is to kowtow and oh my gosh, you said all this and do that. All right, that's the way to go. But I don't want to go that way. You know what I'm saying? We fight fire with fire extinguishers, and but I have a golden rule, and this is for something that may be part of the discussion when we start giving advice. But I promise you, you will never aggravate myself or anybody else part of this company. I have no problem with stress. I have no problem with, whatever, pressure. But aggravation is not an option. So there's nothing you can do to aggravate us, people. That's all. So that was my thing for the morning. I'm done with it. I mean, and in fact, I think we're going to clip this and add it as a link to the response. That you cannot terrorize us. You can put your the whole thing is once you put your little comment out, you're done. Okay, you said that. Now what? What are you going to do? What you're going to do is keep people like you away from us, which is more than happy. I'm glad for that. And as I said, for this, I shouldn't even give you this much juice, but I can't help it. I can't help it because everybody just said it. This is my final statement right here. I said, you know what? We don't even have to do anything to you. Your punishment is you being yourself. That's your punishment. So there you go. You got to do it yourself, partner. And good luck. So moving on. There had to do it, man. It's my radio days, man. Plus, just as another point, forget that dude. I'm just saying, since the 90s have come out and everything about 90s hip hop culture is being destroyed right now. I mean, everything. It was all a lie. Forget it was all a dream. It was all a lie, man. Oh my goodness. It was all a lie, man. Yo, it was all a lie. Yo, it was a lie. It was a lie. At least on the big end. I was always an underground cat anyway, but still, God, dog, man. What is going on? It's all a lie.
It's off the chain out here.
Yeah. I think that's what's driving me too. I'm like, you know what? Nothing, and you know how nothing is how it seems, but then maybe you get to a certain level in life where you realize, yo, nothing really is how it seems. Like for real. Like I guess, yeah. We're not gonna get into detail on that at all, but man, ID's taking a hit, boy. I mean, it's taking a hit. It's taking a hit, man. It's a bad look. It's a bad look, man. But I use my train analogy. I mean, people knew it was coming. I mean, it was no what minimal things that not minimal. I mean, I was in the music industry and stuff, but there's absolutely no surprise about any of this. So that's number one. That's the first thing. You notice how nobody is like, like no one, like I know this has nothing to do with nothing, but I'm saying it's just like no one seems surprised.
They were invited to the party.
Yeah, but even if you weren't, I'm just saying the general public. Everybody, no one seems like, oh my God, that can't be true. Everybody's like, yeah, I can see that.
Yep. Yep.
You know, and that's just linking the point of what I'm saying about us, our brand and what we do. Like, man, you say whatever you want, man. No, that ain't real, man. That ain't 100.
True.
That's not 100. I'm just going to absolutely say, no, that's not true. So, you know, shame on us for dealing with you. Anyway, man, what else is going on? How can we help our people?
Yo, I got a new book.
Uh-oh. What's that? It's
called,
blue.
It's called Starting.
That's starting.
You're going to like this book.
Okay. That's just the name is starting.
Starting.
Okay.
How to think like an investor. Stress test the assumptions in your business and build a successful business. So to your point, this book comes right in line because the work that we put in behind the scenes to be proactive for our clients so they don't have to worry about level 1, 2. They just got to get to 3, 4, and 5.
Absolutely.
We are constantly stress testing the assumptions that align with the outcomes that we are looking to achieve. Now I'll take it a step further. I just got this book, so I haven't really dove all the way into it yet. But there's one particular statement in here that says you might have a good idea for a business, but do you have a good business for your idea?
That's a great question. But no, not a but. I'm saying.
However.
Yeah. However, not even however. Do you know what that means? That's a question.
So therefore, and then that just leads into our biz therapy methodology.
Mm-hmm. And I got some other stuff. I'm gonna follow you up. I did some research this week too.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, you got it. I'm just
no. Well, it fits into that because what I've been doing, as we know, just working on this, and it's for marketing. I mean, because I've been studying and working on our marketing, and it's really getting down to the guts of, it's like getting to the molecular level of small business owner, so on and so forth. We've discussed it before, but I've just been really toying with and figuring out who our client is, our avatar, and then also learning what the other clients are, and really putting that dichotomy between self-employed individuals, small business owners, and entrepreneurs, and putting definition to those things. And I think there's a filter, there's a funnel system there. Because the self-employed individuals are just that. They had, to a certain extent, they have an employment mentality. They just employed themselves. So in short, they made jobs for themselves. And this is not, you can't gauge it by money, by revenue.
Right.
You can't say that. I mean, because some might be making $1 million something a year, but all the outputs are theirs. Everything is about them. They might have an assistant or something like that, but they're not, it's them. They're the whole deal. So in essence, when they're done, it's done. This is finished.
Right. Right.
and they out of here. You know, um, and they're really, and this is early in my findings, but there's something, and I want to preface this by saying that these are just all characteristics. They're not judgments. They're characteristics. So self-employed people, and as it pertains in our business, I mean, self-employed people, they're pretty much like W-2 people, except they might have a Schedule C, or we might have them in an S corp with getting a W-2. But their primary concern is their taxes, just like someone that has a W-2. Um, Not really worried about growing the business. Well, honestly, to be frank, they can't grow the business because it's just them. So no
Yeah,
matter what,
yeah, they responsible. They're responsible for growing their own stuff, managing their own stuff.
yeah,
Hmm.
but they can't grow. There's a ceiling. It's impossible. If you're the only person, there's but so much you can grow. Period.
Hmm.
Just because you only got 24 hours in the day and you got to
Yeah,
deal with every function.
it's a small plant pot.
Yeah, like you. So there's a ceiling for you.
Yeah,
So somebody like that, they're not a growth minded business person.
right.
They're self-employed. They got a job. That's what they got. It's just they're the boss. So
Hmm.
that's one. Small business owner is a little bit different, a lot bit different. Small business owner will have an operation, and they'll want to grow, but they're kind of they're in that middle ground. You know, some don't want to grow. They want to take it as far as they can or something. But a
Hmm.
lot of them are they're still in the mix. You
Right.
know, they're still in the mix. Like they're still doing things. But they're growth minded. Now they fit closer to the avatar where we are, you know. And then
Hmm.
and then we get to the entrepreneur. Now the entrepreneur wants to make a change in the world. This not even the monetary aspect. Obviously, business, the score is money.
Yeah, but
But
disruptors.
yeah, they disruptors, exactly. Disruptors. And do stuff like what I did 15 minutes ago. Like so it was crazy stuff like that. Oh, good morning. Good morning, sleepyhead. So
Good
you've
morning.
been yeah, up here
You're late.
hopped in. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? A little late, but that's cool. So that's cool. So you missed all the fireworks. But anyway, so there's three different levels of the game, and it's not like you can't go up and down the levels or whatever, whatever. But I think it's important as I'm studying this to understand, like when people come in through our lead generation. I'm starting a business. Okay, well, let's figure out who you are. You starting a business. Why? Because you're tired of working for somebody else. Okay, those usually end up being self-employed people. I'm tired of working with somebody else. I don't really want to. I'm cool with what I do. I'm cool with what I make. I just don't want to work for somebody else. So going to the book you talking about, that person, I mean, you know, I'm at from where they're starting. They're
Hmm.
not gonna, you know, not gonna absorb that. Now the small business owner who's been in there something, you'll have something to be like, oh, I want to go to the next level.
Hmm.
The issue is you have to define what the next level is.
Correct.
So that's the
And then keep refining it because
yes,
the deeper you go, the deeper it gets.
yeah, yeah. So you have to define that. You have to. So I would say the small business owner when people can separate themselves from the business and see the business as an entity on itself unto itself. That's what I would say the difference between the self-employed and the small business owner goes from a sociological point of view. Like
Hmm.
that's when you really look at the business and say, oh, there's the business, then there's me. Functionally, I don't mean obviously for marketing and branding, you stand in front of it, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're setting it up and it's like it runs, you're employing people that have function. They actually have major function in the business
Mm-hmm.
like that. You're moving away from having a key man operation. That's small business thing. And then the entrepreneurs, I just said, disruptive. You might be by yourself, but you like, yo, I'm shaking everything up.
Right.
I'm going all out. I'm doing stuff like that. Those
Right.
are three different characteristics
Right.
completely. Like,
Right.
and you service those three people different. And totally, you said there's a total different. You service them differently. I mean, completely. Um, and it's a thing. This is turning into a strategy meeting online. Online strategy meeting for the most transparency you ever get. But I know for a fact, and I'll say it, and that's like I said, I'm not, this is not a judgment. This is a thing that we're dealing with a lot of the category A's. They self-employed. That's what they are. Love them. They self-employed. But our infrastructure is based on category C
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See.
because of
Mm-hmm.
me. One of because of me because I am. So that's why I'm like, so I realize and I'm like, because there's times it comes up and I'm sitting there like, they worried about that. But it's because I'm up here like, well, how we gonna blah 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 blah. And they're like, oh, I'm so worried about the taxes. And I'm like, worried about the taxes? What's my surefire way for you to not worry about taxes? Don't make no money, you ain't gotta worry about no taxes. It's as simple as that. Like you want it both ways. You want it, and so and I just say that it felt like the right thing when you mentioned this book that people in category B and C, the book, something like that is an enhancement. I believe people want to grow their stuff, but I also believe people don't. If you don't have that separation from me in the business, I think it's very difficult to move into these spaces with a lot of that. With like these books and these resources we come with. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult for you to understand that because, and it's not about survival. I mean, from the E Myth, our
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 trusted. Yeah.
guiding book is, you got stages. You
Right.
surviving. You might
Right.
be surviving for 15 years before you start thriving. And then you were like, so, and that's something I just want to, I'm just imploring people to think about what you want when you start a business. Do you just want to, not just, and I don't mean to use just, do you want a comfortable life where you're your own boss and you're chilling or whatever? Be honest. That's what you want. That's what you want. So like, do you want to have a business where it could run on its own, or you could just do the parts that you like and people handle the administration and they handle all this other stuff and you do the part that you like, you kind of manage it, or you might have a manager. You might, you want it to just, you want something that's a thing, and most importantly, you want a business that could potentially be sold.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you want? It can be done. Or you like, I'm trying to have an impact in in the marketplace or in my industry, in my community. I want to do something that everybody else isn't doing. I want to do something that changes something.
Well, how do we effectively communicate that, right? So 50, the number actually is 64% of startups and small businesses do not have a properly written business plan.
Which means
And
they don't have a mission statement.
business plan.
You know what I'm saying? That means they don't have a mission statement because
Yeah, that's
part of the
true.
business plan is a mission statement. Yeah.
That's true, right? So, and then 96% of business plans are flawed. And that
Yeah.
flaw comes from the denial of the amount of loans that are being seeked out.
So you mean, what do you mean that
They
they
don't get
they're
funded. They don't
no,
get
they don't
funded.
get funded? Oh yeah, of course not. Because
Which
you're
makes
not going to get a loan off rip.
which makes sense, as to the ones that go through our business plan program. We're like, you have a plan in the beginning, yeah, check it out. Looks like that.
What, blank page? well,
They got some
well,
words on it, but the words didn't show up fast enough.
yeah, the camera didn't lock in. Well,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, that's because business plan is like friend. You
yeah,
know, in the English language, we use a lot of catchphrases. We use a lot of, it's the same thing what I'm saying. Everybody says they're a business owner or they're CEO. They're like CEO, and it's like them and their dog. Like it's like you, the CEO. We, I think what we're entering a new thing of demystifying these terms and maybe using different terms to say this. You have to have a business plan, and my thing has always been it's just a plan of how you plan to make money. That's what a business plan is. So people dismiss it. Oh, well, you do that to get loans. Oh, I don't need that. Yeah, you only need that if you're trying to get to a bank. Explain to me exactly how you're going to operate something, and you don't know how you're going to operate. You're going to do something to get to a end point, but you have no plan for it. Hey, you're going to tell me you don't need it,
hmm
and then I'm supposed to take you serious as a business person? Like, how am I supposed to do that? You and then you come. I want they want these services from us, but they can't tell me the first thing of where they want to be. How am I supposed to give you? What am I supposed to do with that?
right. So let me give you some points there to advance on what you're saying. Right, clarity and direction. If they don't have clarity and direction, a lot of people want advice. Well, tell me how to do this. Well, we can't sit in the passenger seat or the back seat and drive the vehicle. You're driving
Some
the
people try.
vehicle. That go back to what's the name of that show? Police Academy. What's the dude name? Hightower, where he ripped out
Yeah,
the driver's seat and sat in the back seat.
I sat in the back.
That's the only way that's gonna work.
Yo, that was dope. My man pulled the seat out. Like, yeah, no
You know
doubt.
what I mean? So clarity and direction, and then a communication tool. Business plan is a communication tool, and there's elements in there. So because you have to be able to, whatever wherever you're starting from, whatever levels, whether self-employed, sole proprietor, small business entrepreneur, that's a progression to growing the business and scaling the business. So it's okay to start from the bottom, but having a business plan that will allow you to create clarity and direction, to create a communication tool, right? To create strategic and tactical planning. Those are the different components that we try to communicate to our clients that fall into our business program. Um, the direction that's needed. I yield back to you now.
You're back. Oh man, we have we have having a real live meeting here. So, we're about to pull Robert's rules out for the over here, but no, this is this is this is right in line. This is totally in line. But I just want people. I feel like, and it makes our life easier. It's just because we call this the final push. As I said, the tax deadline, the busy season is supposedly ending in our profession based on everybody else next Monday. It's supposed to slow down. It doesn't really slow down for us, which I'm grateful for. Thank God for that. But I'm saying doesn't really slow down. And I said I'd come back to that because we live tax 365. I mean, we do it every day. We deal with taxes every day, not just between January and April, every day. And we deal with tax planning and a lot of these terms, they're just thrown around. They're thrown around. So even I'm thinking back even to the call that we had yesterday, with the potential, other service line. And the way that she used tax planning, we didn't get to talk about it because we was thinking about dodo bird yesterday. But like looking back, just think about it. It involved a look back and be like, if you did this, wow, and you're gonna do this in the future, you could use it as a tax planning action. Nothing in there was, oh, I'm going. Tax planning is not so you can make $1 million and pay zero. That's tax avoidance, and that's tax. You want to go to jail, right? That's what it is. So, but it's planning. I say this all the time. On a standard profit and loss statement, like pull any company, Apple, Facebook, any of them, their annual reports, their financial statements are open. Anyone can pull them. Taxes is not the first line on their P&L. It's at the bottom. And it's something that happens is called, you calculate in corporate tax, you calculate a tax provision that's based on what? Your profit.
Mm-hmm.
So big business look like that. Small business, the first thing somebody talks to me about is the taxes. Don't you see something's wrong with that? Talk to me about your profit. Your profit.
Well, there's a distinction though, because profit. But I think there's a limitation there with profit, because revenue and profit are not necessarily the same. They're not the same thing.
No, they're not. Not at all. But so, I'm talking about the profit.
Right. I know you're talking about the profit, but I wanted to be a little more clear, because a lot of people associate profit with revenue.
True. I can see that.
And they come from that perspective of questioning taxes, planning, whatever it is, based off of the profit. And that's not it. So revenue, profit, and cash flow, all different things.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. And it's something we probably need to build on more this year.
So I yield back for you. I yield back for you.
You killing me with the yield back. That's it. Yeah, so you're right. Absolutely. Revenue and profit on the same, but they are profit. Go look it up. You look up everything else. Something can happen on the West Coast, and we'll find out on TikTok in 2.5 minutes. You can go look up and find out the difference between revenue and profit if you're really about that life. If you're not, then it's whatever. So it's about your profit. So your net profit. And you're going to pay taxes on your net profit. But guess what? The more profit you have, believe it or not, the more ways you can benefit. That's where the cash flow aspect comes, something like that. So, what I was getting at is what you were saying is that so many people come into business because most of us have worked. We've had jobs where your gross revenue is the announced, your salary, the one that people like to brag about. Your net is what you take home. So the only financial responsibility you have is that difference between the gross and the net pay. And what is that? Taxes, also health insurance, life insurance, whatever other benefits you have. So then you go into business, the only thing you think about is, I'm making this, especially if you're self-employed. The taxes are going to kill me. And that's all and I'm done. Because now it's no longer the money I get. See, the thing about it is that you don't have to have discipline when you work a job. You get it at the end. Now people go play around with their W-4s and all that, but you don't have to discipline yourself because they take it out for you. They go put it. Take it over there. So when you get your money, you go do whatever you want. I got my money. I'm going blah, 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 blah. And it's going to come every month, every 2 weeks, first 15th, whatever, whatever. It's going to come. Don't have to put any additional thought to it. It's there. But then once you step in the arena, you get your money. You got to manage that.
You're a fighter. You the coach. You the cut guy.
Yeah, you everything. Yeah, you all that. So now the trainer, you know what I'm saying? You. So what happens is now when they get to us, their immediate fear is the taxes because I never had to deal with the taxes. I'm so afraid of the taxes. I'm afraid because I don't even know. Most people don't even understand how the taxes are calculated on their paycheck. They really know. I mean, they honestly don't. I know they really no clue. They just know I bring home this. Now, the interesting part is if someone discusses their salary with somebody, they only talk about the gross.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we have this wonderful, this holy grail of I make 6 figures, but you don't bring home 6 figures. For the record, 6 figures, $100,000 is 83, 33, and 33 cents per month. Most people that get there might be bringing home anywhere between $5,000 and $6,000 a month after taxes. So you don't make 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? You make 72 to 75,000 that you bring home, but you don't make it. But it makes you feel good about yourself. You get up every day. I made 6 figures, but people make 6 figures and then they sit around and talk about how broke they are.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna make enough money when you live that way. It's never going to be enough. Like no matter what, I give you $200,000, you'll find a way to spend it. Because working doesn't require discipline.
True.
They take your retirement. Oh, here, we take it out before you get it.
True.
You take it. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Pay vacations and everything.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything. It's just nothing. Here, we take whatever. Here, this is yours. You earned it. Every 2 weeks, you get that. You don't have to get it. And I only point that out. That's the way of the world. I get that. But I pointed out is when you step over and none of that's happening. I think there's an expectation and entitlement that makes it difficult to be a service provider to some of these folks.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just like, boom, you telling them, yo, this is what it is. Here, you got to do this, this, and that. And you come into the game. I've been self-employed or business owner more than I've been employed in my adult life. So my perspective is, it is what it is. I don't trip off of that. You owe $30,000 in taxes. You owe $30,000 in taxes. Because in most cases, your taxable income of $30,000. Shoot, let's just call it. You probably have like adjusted gross income of like $90-something thousand, which means you actually did make 6 figures or more and like that. But guess what? You didn't give money to the government to hold for you the whole year. You kept the money in your pocket and then settled up with the end of the night. That's the dynamic right there. One, if they taking it out every month, and you're supposed to make estimates, but they taking it out for you all the time, they holding on to your bread. And then you putting in a slip at the end of the year, say, yo, let me get back. This is what I should have. This is what I owe back. So you putting in a slip, as opposed to you getting the money and you like, yo, I'm sitting on the bread. And at the end, they like, yo, this is what you owe us. Okay, all right, here you go. But the discipline.
Either way.
Yeah, the discipline. So would you rather them be holding your money, 0 interest, or if you got ill discipline, you able to, like, the money you making you work with a professional to do tax planning to say, yo, what does it look like I might owe this coming year? And you say, all right, cool. I'm gonna put just for even numbers, I'm gonna put $1,000 in. This is all theoretical in an interest-bearing account. Every month I'm gonna take a G off and put it here, so that boom, when they come around, or I'm gonna put it in an investment account, I'm gonna put it in a CD. I'm gonna start at the beginning. I'm gonna put it in a CD, so I'm gonna earn some interest on it. Boom. At the end of the year, they pull back and we do the tax return, we do all the stuff, we do these things, retirement plan, blah 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 blah. It comes back. We don't put 12,000 in there. We give it, for easy thing, 10%. You earn that on that. $1,200 earned on the money you put away, and now, boom. We done our thing. Yo, we owe 8 grand. Whatever. Here you get 8 grand. I got 4,200 in there. You know what I'm saying? I got 4 plus the 1,200 I got in there. I got 5,200. Guess what? The 5,200 is good. I'm just gonna leave that in there and let it rock. Cause I lived off. I didn't live off of it. It's over there. Right. So now I'm head up. And if I make more money. Now that's tax planning. That was very hood, but it was tax planning. Like, that's planning.
I was following.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is the explanation of what's going on. When people be sitting around here talking about this stuff, like, there are mechanics to it, definitely, but it's this mystical thing. Everybody just believes. It's almost like people just get so crippled.
Well, it's the story behind it. It's the training and the programming behind it, or the lack thereof.
I know, but I get it. I get it, but here's the problem. Here's the problem for me. People know everything else in the world by going to the internet, except about their money. Know everything. You don't learn how to do anything.
You're right.
So there is something there that people are like, I'm too, they melt. And so my thing is that, you know what? I understand. But if you're going to play the game, at some point, you can at least glance at the rule book. I mean, I'm from the video game generation. Nobody read no manual for no video game. You just go play. So I get that. So, you know what I'm saying? So go check it out. And that's all I'm trying to say. Like, listen, man. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to my cousin. He agrees with me right there. Like, go check it out.
What's up, cuz?
We go check. And so that's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to say that, look, and this is for people that say they want to be business people. I'm not trying. I mean, look, if you're working and you're doing your thing, that's how it's set up. I'm saying that you want to make that transition over, and then you come into us with all this, and what happens is they put their angst on us, and you like, and I'm just saying on today, all things considered, and we haven't had a lot, but we have to start diffusing that angst. We cannot absorb your angst. You have to put effort. And I really is going back to what you're saying for the biz therapy or something. Part of biz therapy is personal accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You are the business owner. You are the one with the idea. The buck stops with you. That's another place that changes. When you work you can hide in jobs, man. Anybody that's ever had a job knows that you could conceivably hide. You can make a lot of money and hide, and nobody really knows what you do. If the organization's big enough, like all you gotta do is deliver when somebody actually asks for what you do, and like that. So you can hide. You know what I'm saying? And then you can always say you're good at your job.
Right.
You can do that. But when you step over, and once again, I'm not just look. You get your money however you get it. This is not I'm saying no. Look, I mean, I was bad at hiding. I just didn't care. I just didn't care. That was a whole other level. But when you step out and you become self-employed, a business owner, or entrepreneur especially, there's no place to hide. So you have to get educated and you have to learn to take personal accountability. And sometimes it's going to hurt. It's not going to be pleasant. Sometimes you have to say, like do that. So why do we not do this with the financial story of what we're doing? Why the scorecard? Everything that you go into business for, you go into business to make money. I think that's not only, but I'm saying that's what you a business enterprise is to generate revenue and hereby create profits for the owners to live. That is the score. Why would you not learn or invest in the scoring mechanism of the game you're playing? That's just like playing basketball. You know the difference between, or football is probably a better thing, but whatever sport, and you don't even know how the game is scored. You just like to play. You just want to run around and get your head beat in. you had there's no goal. So basically, just imagine if like football was scored by the number of tackles.
Yeah, right.
So it would be like when you were a kid, people called it different things. It's probably not. We used to call it kill the man with the ball. So it basically, so I get the ball, everybody try to tackle him. What if football was like that? And whoever doesn't get tackled wins. That would be the score. Yo, you would score. There'd be no structure. Be none of that. The sport wouldn't be as big as it is. If basketball was about dribbling, if you could break people's ankles, yo, the more dribbles you take, if you're able to take dribbles without getting the ball stolen from you, that's how you score the most points. No game plan. It's individual. So how are you just not gonna play the game and don't know how to score it? I'm done. I yield all my time, man. I'm done. I'm finished. But it's a prop for biz therapy, though. What I'm trying to say, like you need it. You need this man right here, because he has a lot of patience. Yo, boot tank. Yo, hold up. I think you got a typo. the boot tank. I think that's supposed to be boot camp.
Nah.
No, it's a boot tank?
It's like Shark Tank, but it's the Biz Therapy Boot Tank.
Oh man, do I get to sit on the panel?
Yes, absolutely.
I want to just sit on the panel. But I'm very,
we have the Biz Therapy Boot Camp and training.
I want to be on the tank.
This is the boot tank where you could come and pitch your business plan, and we can effectively see where the gaps are and bridge the gaps.
Oh yeah, I want to be there. I want in.
Tell
a friend and tell a friend.
Sign up. And where do you sign up at? biztherapy.info.
That's right. Yo, I want in. I'm excited about that. And I'm excited out of helping people. I mean, I know I'm here ranting and all that, but it's because I really like this. I care about this stuff, and I see people they're hurting their own success because they don't want to continue to learn and they don't want to continue to challenge themselves. And you gotta challenge yourself. And this is the final push. Like I said, this is the final push for our for our busy season. So now we are kind of pushing, it's planning. That is just everything, especially with the amount of information we deal with nowadays. This medium, the internet, has broken down. We could be talking to people, and I think one week we were speaking to a young man in Africa who wanted to be a CPA. You can touch people anywhere. So these lame excuses of, people don't know that. People know all about this 90s debacle. And they know all about that. No more than we want to know.
True.
But that's before we go, man, I want you to to explain that photosynthesis thing again, man. You know, that thing that you were talking about, because it came up again this past week. You know what I'm saying? that I, I will learn how to articulate this at some point, but you know what you're talking about. You know, the root and the leaves and all that type stuff, man. Because I think it
The,
fits. It
the,
fits is what we're talking about.
he said,
You know,
what did you say? The what?
I said photosynthesis, but it's not photosynthesis. I don't.
No, you said what? The tree. You said the trees and the leaves.
Yeah, the leaves and the roots. You know, the thing with the roots growing. The
The-
tree is growing two ways at one time, in opposite directions at the same time. I think we need to cap off with
Yo,
that like every episode because it's really the illest, man. Because you don't think about it,
yo,
you
you
like,
are crazy.
yeah, I mean,
So
but
there's
it's
so as they say, be like a tree. And why should you be like a tree? Because a tree, truthfully, is self-sustaining to the temperature and the climate. Now, how does that even happen? So, as tall as a tree grows is as deep as its roots go. So, there's two processes that actually happen. One slightly before the other process takes over and continues, right? So, anything that's planted in the ground has to develop a root system to sustain um, the nutrients, to provide support. So when it grows, it can have some strength and withstand the temperature, animals, the feces, you know, them building nests and climbing up on them, etc. Okay. So the first phase is called graphitopic. So it's gravity pulling down or calling the roots, calling for them to grow downward into the darkness, deep down. And they have to find their way because there's a lot of challenges. I'm going somewhere with this, right? There's a lot of
Mhm.
challenges when the roots grow. Roots just don't go straight. They don't grow and go straight down. They go until they hit and then they maneuver around it. Like there's no stopping you don't see a root come and grow up. You may see a root protruding out of the ground, but it's still in forward motion. It just hits a higher level of a I'll just use a ground wall similar to a seawall, right? So that's the dark side, the gravitopic side. Then there's the phototopic, where the upbringing of the tree or the plant is drawn by the sunlight. It looks to seek light so it can actually become the living thing that it needs to become in order to produce the thing that it produces. So the roots start to grow first, and then the phototopic takes the second place. However, those two don't stop growing in correspondence of each other, right? The roots still keep growing down, and the phototopic part still continues to reach for the sky as high as it could go. So as high as a tree is as deep as its roots. That's the only way that it could withstand. If the tree was very high and the roots were shallow, yep. Hence why you see certain plants, those plants are seasonal just because of the rooting system. The rooting system is very thin, is very short, it's not sustainable through different weathers and outcomes. So kind of the same for business. They're very much the same for you as a individual or a person, seeking continuous improvement and education and understanding as well, right? We all have to be deeply rooted into the thing that we decide we're going to do in order for it to grow. So where does the focus happen? In the deeply rooted part. because there's unforeseen things that we just don't know and that we haven't understood yet. We don't even know that we don't even know it until we get to the point that we find out about it and realize that we need to know it. And once we know that, then there's more information that says you don't even know this, of which you just stumbled upon. So not only is there levels of growth, there's levels of not knowing what you thought you should know because you didn't know that you needed to know that, but you didn't know it until it showed up. So I yield back.
Yeah, and well, perfect. I like that. But the one thing I will add to it is that you touched on it a little bit. You never see how deep roots are. You only see the leaves going up. So so there's trees out here. When they say trees 500 years old, can you imagine how deep those roots are? So we never see that. But in our society, human beings, we see everything. We put everything out there. Instagram. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. TikTok. Look at me. Look at me. I'm CEO. I'm COO. I'm CEO. You see all that? It means nothing because if there's no roots. I mean, there's people that switch from this to this to this because, hey, you throw up a page right now. Our social validation is there. You throw up a page or a website or something, instantly validated, socially. But I think, the reason I like that so much, and I did get it from a friend, that was interesting. She sent me some guy was talking about the same exact thing, but the roots. What we discuss a lot on this show are the roots. So people don't like talking about the roots. That's why, and if you, and I say this too, like if you're doing a social, a media endeavor or anything like that, and you're looking at your numbers, people always highlight the people that got crazy numbers. But if you have any depth to what you're saying, it takes a while for people to get onto it because you have to find the right people that are looking for depth. Things that are light, that's just, it's for the masses. But when you start talking about the roots, it's not for the masses. It's not. They're not gonna, it's just not. So when that's in your business, I mean, business people that want to get into the roots of their business, it's not everybody.
Right.
It's not everybody. Some people just want to keep it up here, keep it light. So I say that this was a interesting episode. Yes. I don't know. We might have turned a corner. I might have snapped again. This was like, I don't even know where this is coming from. I'm saying this is divine right here.
What you mean? It's coming from our rooting system going deeper.
Oh, okay. I thought you was about to go to the creator talk. I was like, yo,
that's in the morning when I rise and when I lay. You know what I mean? And everything in between. You know what I mean?
I know, but I was just like, yo, it's 12:03. I don't want to get you riled up.
I'm not. This is not that kind of talk. But everything. Yeah. But everything. So I mean, without the creator creating creation is the one that created land and sea and everything in between, because he put his laws and principles in place.
Yo, I yield everything on that. I say we good. In the affirmative, we good. We good. So with that being said, just a couple things we need you to do. If you're not a subscriber on our YouTube channel, please go there and subscribe. Hit the notification button. Now I'm sounding like everybody else. Yeah. Put comments down in here. You know what? I found out we got some thumbs downs on our shorts. I didn't know that. I was like, wow. At least somebody saw it. But yeah.
Listen, every image needs a background. Look at our background. Our background is there in order to promote who we are to the viewers, to their
Yeah.
line of sight, right?
Hmm. So, I mean, it's all good. But go there, check us out on you right now. If you're on Facebook, you're on my personal page, but it's cool. We're gonna start putting the clips on the Heyward CPA site. But I do this because I got people checking me out, presumably, and we're everywhere. So if you have any business questions, but business questions, actually go to biztherapy.info. I think we'll put something up there to just field questions, business questions, and sign up to join the Biz Therapy Boot Tank. Boot Tank. I like that.
Boot camp.
Now I'm starting to get it. If you know anybody that's thinking of starting a business, this is anybody. You don't have to be in business already. If you're thinking of starting a business, if you're in business, if you want to make moves in your business, go there and join and let us know. I mean, it's totally to help you. It's not don't take me wrong. Don't take my abrasiveness for malice. Take it for passion, and I'm really serious about it. And I believe more people can really build good businesses that sustain. I just believe that, point blank. That's just, but it's not just going to happen because you have a good intent. That's where I'm coming from. So that's why it sounds a little rough, but I mean, hey, everybody else will coddle you and tell you how nice it is and all that. But this is a full-time sport, and I believe a lot of people can succeed in it. So do that. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you after our busy season is over with some more activities. And once again, shout out to the whole crew for how you tamp down on the clowns. We out. Peace, peace, and peace again. Deuces. Gone.